I just wanted to do this video for you just to kind of give you an idea of what my life looked like building this business and what I did daily when I still had a day job. I know now that I'm an area manager, I've actually left my day job and I do Arbonne full time now. And I remember what it was like at first, kind of trying to organize myself and trying to figure this business out and learn everything. And I was off to some really great success right away in my business. Within my first 5 months, I promoted to area manager. So I know that that's a great goal for everyone, and I know it's extremely possible. If I did it, you can do it. There's nothing special about me. So I wanted to kind of show you what my day looked like then versus now. I know a lot of people look at my life and they're like, well, that's great. You have all day to do that. And really, I'm not doing Arbonne all day, and it's a common misconception. I'm at the gym and I'm at the mall and I'm that friend that goes and picks up their friends' kids from school because they can't. And, so-and-so's sick. Can you go get my kid from school? And now my sister's having a baby and I get to be there for my nephew and do that for him. And, I'm cleaning the house and I still live at home. And sometimes I'm Netflixing and I'm reading lots and I'm talking to my friends and Skyping my friends all over the world. And so my day is not all about Arbonne. And yes, it fits into the nooks and crannies of everything I do. And it did back when I had a day job too. So I worked at a bank. So I worked those traditional 9 to 5 hours, which are more stifling than you could imagine if you don't work 9 to 5. It is probably the least flexible job you could ever have. Everything runs 9 to 5. So how are you supposed to go to the doctor's office or get your car fixed or pick up your kids from school or take them to school? Like, it doesn't really work that great 9 to 5. And I had to work some Saturdays, and I loved my experience there, and I'm not going to downplay what I learned. I learned a lot about myself, and if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't be here today. So besides all that, what my day kind of looked like is I went to the gym every morning, and mostly this was to keep my stress in check. I am not some fitness model. I did not enjoy going to the gym. I do now because I don't have to. At the time, I did it to keep my stress level in check. So I would go to the gym every morning before I went to work at the bank. So I would get to the gym about 6 o'clock in the morning at the very latest. I had Learn and Burns downloaded onto my iPhone. Actually, I think I used my iPod at the time, which was 2 years ago. Crazy how quick that changes. So now on my iPhone, and I would listen to a Learn and Burn, the same one, over and over again during my workout. So some of them are 20 minutes long, and sometimes I only worked out for 20 minutes. It was kind of whatever I felt like that day. It wasn't music I was listening to, though, at the gym. It literally was a Learn and Burn, and specifically Learn and Burn. So there are tons of great SoundClouds and tons of great YouTube videos, and I've probably watched them all. I'm a junkie that way. I'm talking specific Learn and Burns, though, from the source on Arbonne's website. Those are exactly what I was listening to. They have the verbiage. It's how I know how to talk the way I do now. It's how I know how to answer people's questions. It's how I know what different situations are going to come up and how to handle them and what to do and how to prospect and how to talk to a waitress or the coffee barista or whoever about this business. So I listened to those every morning. And then I went and grabbed a coffee from Starbucks after I was done. I showered at the gym, went and grabbed a coffee, went to work, and I had a Post-it note on the back of my phone. Like, I literally would stick it on the back of my phone of the people I was going to ask that day to either host, take a look at this business, ask them to try some products. Those are your asks. Who I needed to follow up with if they were hosting an event. I needed to check in with them, like, how many people do you have coming? I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. And then I had things I needed to do. If I needed to call Arbonne, or if I needed to do a drop off on lunch, or maybe I needed to go pick up some paper from Staples or whatever. That's what I did on my hour lunch break. I was allowed to leave on my lunch. And yes, I texted a little bit at work, and then most of it was done on my lunch break, though. I had an hour lunch, and that meant I had to get it done in that hour. And then after I was done work, I would either go home and I would package up orders or do some follow-up with people, do some more asks, and do some more learning. So I was on conference calls if there was live ones that night. If there was a DA that night, I actually just stayed in the city. I actually live out in the country, so I would stay in town, get some food to eat, and then I would go to the Discover Arbonne that was local, and I would bring someone with me, always. Or I would have a presentation that night and I would go do my presentation. Now, I don't have a family at home. I don't have kids at home. I literally live at home with my parents. So this is a different lifestyle than if you have kids, and I can't relate to that, and I'm not going to pretend to try. You fit your business in differently. And you know what? In being not having kids, sometimes I found it difficult listening to people that, did this because they had children. And I mean, someday I'm going to have children, and my why is totally going to switch, and I'm going to be able to talk to moms and dads on these calls about how to fit this business in and around those lives. Right now, though, I'm talking to the people that don't have kids, and this is what I did at night, and I loved doing it. I was still out meeting people and hanging out with people and making friends and having fun and having a glass of wine or whatever, right? So it wasn't like I was missing out on stuff. I just fit this in and around what I was already doing, and those were the times that worked for me. I heard of a lot of moms who, during their kids' naps, that's when they fit that hour lunch break in and did all that activity. And then they would have play dates with their kids and moms with other kids, and they would do their Arbonne activity, their income producing activity, through that. So there's lots of ways you can fit this in. I'm just the girl that you can relate to that doesn't have kids or a husband and is building this business as a Gen Y. So I hope that that really helps you. Keep it very simple. There's not a ton of stuff you have to do. That's literally what I did in the beginning. That's what I could fit in. That's what I could handle. And yes, it looks a little bit different now, and that's the privilege you get of working hard and then being able to have the time to work on your passions and do the things you really love in life and not be stuck somewhere for 8 hours where you can't really go build things the way you want to. So I hope this helps.